I'm your host, Corey Whitford. Today is January the 5th, 2021. Nungum, wega gishigak, Hamino gishigak, we wake ship where I be twisik. But yeah, I will shina watching. No, my been bebin tige. Where the yanta, yanda naskan, I muscuchi siobo, makatewa, wo gajin kate. I shan't ask kaman. I should make one, I'll be thinking, oh, so I'm guy, menopause. Bonjour. Nange, aige. It's a beautiful morning here at the official news portal of the Treaty Two territory. And yeah, nging jikandam where we wake ship where kaja semak. Iga. Let's get ready. Let's get started. All right. I only know one day. Today we're gonna look at the news in brief. And then we're going to look at some job opportunities that just recently appeared on the Treaty 2 Territory Facebook page. So iga ijamin ima iganda o bandamin nini o nin sa unga unja ni michige ma. I'll read from that job opening there that's available at this time. I boy, it's a wonderful morning. So, Hanin Daman, what did you hear about the Seven Circles gathering last night in Umasago Kaukusing Kaukutek? Kichu Dananga is in Katamat. Inondam na, Inondam na. I gish it Chio Kumagi, I Gigishibai Batabuk, and then talked about all of the work that is going to be done, that has to be done in order to create legislation for the child and family nation circle. Me, yeah, no, that doesn't naman. And Pachina, oh, getting ye mangi, I shanta, nagish go, haya, kina my co-keepers. Oh, it was a beautiful feeling to be there and be with them. That wait, this go, wait, this year, I think Gabi, I don't know, I got watching, go, sing. That was shini mai shi bin diga ni mai he shi no banda man nai all the merchandise ai mang za ni go ai pasake kamek ai shirts so ma ai mana no ma ai gi shi chiget ta ma go ni nai MTN live EGB se magat to ma EGB gate magat EGB gate magat ma. Okay, let's get started with the program here. I want to give you all the latest in the goings ons of our First Nations and Treaty Two territory. First, we want to go to our the job offerings. I'm going to turn to the Treaty Two territory webpage and read direct from the Facebook page. Treaty Two territory, in your Treaty Two territory Facebook page, there is a training opportunity for employment as an uncertified healthcare aide in the Prairie Mountain Health Region. That's a training opportunity for the uncertified healthcare aide, and it's a paid training opportunity. And the question reads, do you want to play a part in helping during the pandemic? Obtain training to start working immediately as an uncertified healthcare aide, followed by full-time temporary employment at personal care homes in Prairie Mountain Health. For more information, can be found by visiting www.prairiemountainhealth.ca. And it directs a call to action here. Submit a cover letter and resume along with references to Prairie Mountain Health Human Resources external recruitment. Email is PMH Careers, that's Prairie Mountain Health Careers at pmh-mb.ca. The fax number is 204-759-3264. And the deadline for submission is January the 18th, 2021. Again, a training opportunity in the Dauphin Territory, Prairie Mountain Health, for an uncertified healthcare aide, paid training. Paid. Furthermore, it reads, a week-long condensed training course that will train individuals to work as uncertified healthcare aides. Eligible students must be over the age of 18 and possess a minimum of grade 10 education. Visit here for more information. Me my Jaken, skip my Jaken. Go there if you want to know more. All you got to do is turn to the Treaty 2 Territory Facebook page. All right, and that's treaty. That's the number 2. Okay, next one. No maigos. So these were posted just fresh. One 10 hours ago and one 15 hours ago. Oh, I like this one. It shows a picture of BBS. BBS is transport. Remember how they used to transport babies? Medyo, Dikinagan ako gayano, cradle boards. Well, let me read the ad here. Hi, Treaty 2 territory members. Does anyone in the territory make Dikinagan cradle boards? And it shows a picture of 2 cradle boards here. The First Nations in Treaty 2 territory is seeking an individual who can make a traditional Dikinagan. Please contact our office at 204-638-3797. That number again, 204-638-3797. Kichimi wech ijibiga tege ma. So if you know anyone nga kikenda nga nin tikinaga nan tut chijano katag right from scratch. Mi mai gigidukan. 204-638-3797. Chimiwech. Yeah, okay, so that's the Facebook page there, Treaty 2 Territory. Oh, Miwech. Oh boy, I love this new setup. I'm just excited. Good morning. Want to say good morning to all of our friends and family. Bonjour, Charlene. Bonjour, Gabriel. Bonjour, Alana. Bonjour. Other news that we're making right now, we're looking to make right now is we're doing job opportunities, and I believe we're going to go into the Child and Family Service Nation circles and start working on legislation. And so you're going to begin to see a lot of interviews taking place on this station right here, this news portal. We have 18 programs per week. That means we could have up to 18 interviews per week. And a lot of our co-keepers, our Council of Elders, our leadership, Grand Chief Eugene Eastman, and many, many more persons of interest, people who bring life to 1871, people who shine a light on the information that's needed on our behalf. That's the reason why we have this broadcast, this platform, is we're looking for support, enlisting the support of our friends and family to say, do you remember any talks? Were you ever given any oral teachings or oral history about 1871, either the day before, the day of, and the day after? We really want to become knowledgeable in that area and provide that knowledge to our future generations. But first, we want to receive it from you, and then organize it, and then share it with everyone in the year 2021, and then share it with future generations. Oh, good morning, Leeson. Good morning, Jason. Boy, Jason, been a while. Welcome. You can hang out with Charlene and Gabrielle and Alana and Leeson. Welcome to the family, Nichawin. Welcome. What I'm doing here is I'm looking for help from you to find out what you can about 1871, the day before, the day of, and the day after. Okay, that's what that's exactly what I wanted to say. And thank you for tuning in from Winnipeg, from Brandon, from Portage, from Dauphin, from Wayway Sicapo, from Minnesota, Manitoba. And Bonnie, good morning. Welcome. You're a little bit late. Good morning. Good morning, Bonnie. Thank you for tuning in too. Well, let's find out what the news is this morning. Let's turn to the news brief and let's get this started. Okay, I'm going to shift platforms here. I'm going to control tab and go to the internet where I've already got it set up and ready for you. Okay, here we go. CBC, the news brief. Oh, the news brief is right there. Why Canada is falling behind in rollout of COVID-19 vaccines. Okay, hang in there, guys. This is going to be a nice long one. Canada is falling behind in its initial rollout of COVID-19 vaccines at a critical time in the pandemic, and experts say our most vulnerable populations are being left at risk. Despite having months to prepare for the development of the initial shipment of vaccines to those most threatened by COVID-19 in long-term care facilities, a consistent rollout plan has yet to fully materialize on the ground. It seems to be chaos right now, said Alison Kelvin, an assistant professor at Dalhousie University and a virologist at the Canadian Centre for Vaccinology, evaluating Canadian vaccines with the COVID Intervac lab in Saskatoon. We know who is a vulnerable population, so we need a strategy to actually vaccinating them. The federal government has deployed almost 50,000 doses of both the Pfizer BioNTech and Moderna vaccines to distribution sites across the country since mid-December. But the actual rollout of vaccinations is up to the individual provinces and territories. Quebec took the bold step of actually putting its vaccine distribution centers inside long-term care facilities, making it easier to inoculate residents as quickly as possible. British Columbia made the decision to move the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine from its distribution sites almost immediately into long-term care homes to inoculate residents and staff upon receiving its first doses. Yet Ontario decided against bringing the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine directly into long-term care homes initially, and is now doing so more than 3 weeks after receiving its first shipment. Despite receiving 53,000 doses of the Moderna vaccine last week, which is much easier to bring into long-term care residences, only 3,000 doses have actually been administered in Ontario as of Tuesday. In brief, again, this is taken from the CBC website, and we receive an email every morning. With the number of daily COVID-19 cases seemingly spiraling out of control during the province's holiday shutdown, the Quebec government is now considering imposing even harsher restrictions. The province is considering keeping schools closed for an extra week, while also shutting down non-essential activities in the manufacturing and construction sectors. Sources tell Radio Canada. The province is also mulling the idea of imposing a curfew, a recommendation made by Quebec Public Health, according to Radio Canada. If imposed, it would be Quebec's first curfew since the start of the pandemic. It's not yet clear if a curfew would affect the movement of citizens or just impose restricted hours on businesses. Read more about the possibility of tougher restrictions in the provinces. The CEO of Ontario's St. Joseph Health System and Niagara Health vacationed in the Caribbean over the holidays despite government advisories to stay home, as the number of COVID-19 cases soared across the province. Dr. Tom Stewart, who sat on a number of health advisory boards, including a COVID-19 panel that advises Premier Doug Ford, resigned from those groups Tuesday after news of his trip to the Dominion Republic was made public. In a statement, Stewart apologized for taking the trip. I regret this non essential travel and I'm sorry, Stewart's statement said. Everyone should be avoiding non essential travel right now, including me. Read more on the CEO's travel and apology here. Democrat Raphael Warnock won one of Georgia's two Senate runoffs Wednesday, putting a Senate majority within the party's reach. Warnock, who is the first black senator in his state's history, defeated Republican incumbent Kelly Loeffler. The outcome of the state's other Senate race between Republican David Perdue and Democrat Jon Ossoff was too close to call, as votes were still being counted. A win by Ossoff would give the Democrats full control of Congress and create an easier path for President-elect Joe Biden, who is to take office on January 20. Read more on the vote here. Police in Hong Kong today arrested about 50 former politicians and pro-democracy activists for alleged violations of the new national security law. They were detained for allegedly participating in unofficial election primaries for the region's legislature last year. The mass arrests were the biggest move against Hong Kong's democracy movement since Beijing imposed the security law last June to quell dissent in the semi-autonomous region. Read more on this story here. In its released Global Economic Prospects Report for 2021, the World Bank fears a lingering impact from the virus. What it warned could be a lost decade, especially for countries that failed to get on top of the pandemic early. Many countries are expected to lose a decade or more of per capita income gains, the World Bank report said. Downside risks include the possibility of a further resurgence of the virus, more severe effects on potential output from the pandemic, and financial stress. Besides the immediate damage to the economy caused by interruptions to trade, domestic commercial activities, and job losses, the World Bank worries that such factors as a huge piling up of public and private debt and a breakdown in education will lead to a prolonged deterioration in economic prospects. Read more analysis from CBC business columnist Don Pittis. Team Canada had to settle for silver as they were blanked 2-0 by the United States in the final of the World Junior Hockey Championship last night in Edmonton. American goaltender Spencer Knight stopped 34 shots while winger Trevor Zegras scored once and added an assist. Zegras was named tournament MVP. Until they ran into the stifling US team, defending champions Canada had gone undefeated through the tournament, outscoring their opponents 41-4. Read more on the game here. Now for some good news to start your Wednesday. Chris Bruckner got a late Christmas present from Guinness World Records. After a year and a half of waiting, he's officially set the record for fastest time to cycle across Canada. It felt great, but at the end of the day, it was more relief, said Bruckner, a paramedic in Inuvik, Northwest Territories. He actually broke the record on July 13, 2019, but it took more than a year for it to become official. He said the ride was a time trial, a bicycle race where the rider races alone against the clock across Canada. Cyclists were allowed to choose their own route through the Trans-Canada race. Through the Trans-Canada race, they must start and finish at the city halls in Halifax or Vancouver. He completed the 5,747-kilometer ride in 13 days, 3 hours and 49 minutes, shaving about 3 hours off the previous record. Read more about Bruckner's feat right here. And that's your news for the morning. Coffee with the Knowledge Keepers. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, it's a beautiful day out there. We want you to stay safe. Again, I want you to start thinking. Here's your call to action. I want you to start thinking about 1871. That's where all of our focus is turning towards 1871 and child rearing practices. We are looking at ways to draft laws, and so we're turning to the people who have the stories and the oral history. We're counting on you to share that with us. And what we want to know is, what were the traditional child rearing practices in 1871? How was a child raised? Good morning, Cheryl. Welcome, Cheryl. I was just asking everyone to focus on 1871, the day before treaty, the day of treaty, and the day after treaty, and use that context, use that anchor right there. And what we want to do is we want to see what the child rearing practices were at the time and what our traditional child rearing practices are today. And then we want to compare those and draft laws that favor our Anishinaabe, Gizensak, Kwezensak, Bebiansak. That's what we're undertaking. It's a massive project. And so that's why we're here on the platform, Cheryl. We're going to do this. We're going to put this together. We're going to make legislation for the Child and Family Service nations. And so I'm counting on you, Gagina, our family, our support, our eyes and ears in the nations, our ni Janishnabek. We're counting on you to help us through this huge undertaking. That's all I can call it, is a very huge undertaking. All right. So the question again: what do you remember about the Treaty 2 at Manitoba House? Before, the day before, the day of, and the day after. Ahamsa. That's all I'm saying here for this morning. I want to start getting you ready for the work we're about to undertake, and we're going to be uploading videos too, and showcasing videos and having interviews. What we have planned right now is we're planning to buy more equipment, including a GoPro camera. Just like the same one I used all summer to make those 100 videos. When GoPro you put it on a tripod, you press power, and it just starts taping. It's got a beautiful microphone on it. So we have a jitwang for some of the interviews we'll be doing off-site instead of doing it from a laptop or in real time, right here on the platform. And so changes are coming. We bought the GoPro Black 7. We bought merchandise, shirts and gorgeous MTN Jibigati. They look like this. MTN MTN live, boy. Nipis ka ne. Tabita ko nipis ka ne. I'm so happy. I want to share that with you. Okay, that's our program for this morning. I hope you'll join us at noon hour, and we'll showcase more of our growth, more of our progress, and more of our development by the hour. And if there's anything I haven't addressed here for you today, please make sure to get in touch with me. I'm approachable here. If you ever need to email me, right to the studio, right here where I'm at. This is the way to email me direct. news@mtnlive.ca. Corey, Ralph, Whitford. Corey Sandy Bayer Whitford. Corey the Coyote Whitford. There's some outstanding work I haven't completed yet. I haven't mailed the books, those kids' books, to one of our guests. I haven't sent that picture out to the Jammin' in the Jack Pine photograph of myself and George Mancheese and Rose Bolio. I haven't emailed. I haven't gone to Canada Post yet to do that, and I haven't figured out how to translate the word for sundogs just yet. Daanig ako din yan. I haven't had any support in that area yet. But if I can count on you, hey, Nikeging, Chiwichi, and I'm quite sure we can begin all of this work that we're scheduled to do in 2021. All right, everyone. Then I guess ni chan snabek ni choga ni dog din ema ni dog mizega yaik. Ang music. Jason, stay safe wherever you are. Brandon, listen, stay safe. And it's a beautiful day out there. Beautiful. But like everyone says, if you're going to go out, be safe. It takes on a new meaning this time around in 2021. Be safe. And what I'm being implicit about is what I'm implying about is to be aware of being whipped is to wear a mask, especially if you're around others. And I guess what else I wanted to say too is boy, I'm so grateful and glad that we've got this platform and we're going to get this work done. I'm very excited to know that we're all going to be a part of it. Leeson, Alana, Cuz, we're gonna do something big here this year together. And so I want to thank you once again, Nijo Ganidug. Dinema Ganidug. Have a great morning and stay safe wherever you are. And I'm returning my blessings back to you too. Here's my blessings to you too, Gagino. Miwechalana. All right, that's good. I'll see you at noon hour at Kanabachay TP Talks noon gumgaya. And then at 3 o'clock, we're having health and wellness. Karen Kijik Kanabachumag about ice fishing. She went ice fishing. Yeah, she got a good story to tell. We just met with her just for a little while yesterday. Just outside of the outskirts of Winnipeg, there, Headingley territory. And she went ice fishing. Yeah, oh, that's nice. And snowshoes. Yeah, agimagan, agimag, agimag, ugi abachan. Ajipata kukit. Sutash, stay safe wherever you are, and we'll see you again at noon hour. Aha, uju. Minoy wab mego.